Would you trust me if I said that it's feasible to obtain real-life superpowers? Consider the possibility that each and every one of us have a latent powerhouse capable of extraordinary things. Movies like Captain America, Iron Man, and the Avengers allow audiences to fantasize about superheroes and picture a world where they possess superpowers. However, what if you currently possess a comparable item? Once you uncover your latent skills, you won't be able to fly like Superman or stop bullets with your finger, but you will have an unfair advantage over 99% of the world's population. Every single one of us possesses latent abilities that, once unleashed, can transform us into a master of our own universe. Within your skull is the most intricate biological apparatus that humanity has yet encountered. The subconscious mind is a hidden part of the brain that stores all of your knowledge, past, present, and future. This includes all of your abilities, beliefs, memories, and experiences. In reality, your conscious mind merely acts as a filter, a net that catches irrelevant and unwanted information before it reaches your subconscious. The vast majority of your everyday actions are guided by your subconscious mind. Even if we prefer to believe otherwise, the majority of our actions are actually dictated by our subconscious programming. The contents of our subconscious have a direct impact on our self-perception, social perception, belief system, and overall identity. If you can decipher the inner workings of the mind and program it, you can master the most complicated thing in the universe and acquire abilities that most people would consider superhuman. You are already one step ahead of 99% of the population because most people don't even realize the subconscious mind exists, much less know how to influence it or make it work for them. Imagine you're reminiscing about your first experience riding a bike. It was terrifying for the first few hours and minutes of riding the bike. At that moment, your rational mind was in charge. Your brain's intelligence is both its strength and its weakness, as you'll discover in the video's later parts. The conscious mind is in charge of learning new information at first, but then it transfers control to the subconscious so that you don't even have to think about it anymore. This is how routines are formed. Because of this, you can do things like watch TV while brushing your teeth or hold a conversation while driving. In contrast to your rational, thinking conscious mind, your instinctual, more primal subconscious is like a silverback gorilla weighing 800 pounds. This gorilla may not appear particularly bright at first glance, but when you consider the lives of the world's most brilliant minds, you'll notice that their subconscious minds were the source of their greatest innovations. Most brilliant people claim that ideas simply came to them when asked how they accomplished it. The subconscious is at work there. You can thank your subconscious mind for every feeling you ever had. It regulates your breathing and a host of other bodily processes that go unnoticed most of the time. You unconsciously program your subconscious mind every single second of every single day. If you train your subconscious to react negatively in traffic every time you become irate, it will learn from that experience. Your subconscious mind is being retrained every time you pass a beautiful female on the street and decide not to make eye contact with her. Your character defects are all the result of things you've learned. That you have learned negative emotions like envy, rage, and even happiness is great news because it implies you can unlearn them, but only if you know how to wake up the sleeping giant. There is a vast reservoir of latent potential within your mind. Most individuals aren't able to harness this power since they don't know how it operates. When you know the rules that control your mind, you can tap into its vast potential. Knowing and comprehending these laws will grant you the ability to persuade anyone by slipping information directly into their subconscious mind, skipping over their conscious mind entirely. The art of persuasion will be second nature to you. While the ability to sway other people's opinions is impressive in and of itself, the true strength lies in the abilities your subconscious mind may activate. These are the matters that will have an immediate and positive impact on your life. If you want to become a real-life Marvel character, you need to comprehend the rules of the subconscious mind, which is the first step. Unbeknownst to most, There is a system of laws that regulate the operation of the subconscious mind, which is far more powerful than the conscious mind. The most important thing to keep in mind is that your subconscious is incredibly adept at ignoring reality. This is why, even when there is no actual threat, many scary movies manage to frighten us. Subconsciously, you can imagine anything you want, but your conscious mind can tell the difference between reality and fantasy. A lot of people experience an increase in heart rate and blood pressure if they dwell on frightening thoughts, such as approaching a beautiful female. This is not just a mental consequence, it is really having a tangible impact. This is why it's said that you should see yourself achieving your goals. If you tell your subconscious mind to imagine yourself approaching a beautiful girl and succeeding each time, it will begin to believe that you have actually done it, even when it doesn't. Addressing issues follows a similar pattern. Take the purchase of a high-quality sports automobile as an example. When you ask yourself the same question over and over again, you are essentially harnessing the vast creative potential of your subconscious mind to find a solution. Time seems to fly by while you're tapping into your subconscious, according to the second law of the mind. The old adage goes something like, "Time flies when you're having fun, yet few understand its significance." Watching the clock makes it appear like time slows down and everything takes more longer when we're bored at work or school. The opposite is also true. By engaging your conscious mind in the act of focusing on the passage of time, you may actually make that time seem to fly by. When you're enjoying yourself and not thinking about how much time has passed, you'll find that the time flies by. This is because your subconscious mind isn't very good at keeping track of time. Your conscious mind is asleep when you go to sleep, so when you wake up, it feels like no time has passed at all. Beliefs are the subject of the subconscious mind's third law. Beliefs underpin all that you do in life. You trust that you will receive payment for your efforts, so you show up to work each day. The thought that your life will end if you don't consume food and water compels you to do these things. A belief that you aren't excellent at connecting with girls is implanted in your subconscious mind, which is why you have problems communicating with girls. According to the third law, the longer a notion remains lodged in your mind, the more difficult it is to alter. Take the hypothetical situation in which you believe your annual income will never exceed $20,000. Everyone with a $100,000 annual salary or more can see through this fallacy of reasoning. But since it is your belief, not mine only, you have the power to alter it. It will be more challenging to alter this belief the longer you cling to it. The majority of our views are shaped during our formative years. If unchecked, they intensify and accompany us throughout our lives. When a child hears at school that he is frail and underweight, he is likely to internalize these negative perceptions until he makes a conscious effort to modify them. What you believe is like sowing a seed in your mind. They will have more time to expand and establish roots if you give them more time to sit. It is considerably easier to replace a negative thought with a positive one if you do it soon after it is planted, rather than after it has been held for years or even decades. A person's body responds to their thoughts, according to the fourth law of the subconscious mind. When you know that your ideas have real-life consequences for your physical health, you'll be able to choose to think positively instead of negatively. According to the fifth law of the subconscious mind, which deals with expectations, you will get exactly what you think you will get. If you walk into an exam expecting to do poorly, you're essentially inviting an 800-pound gorilla into your brain. Your subconscious will go to extreme lengths to ensure that your expectations of passing the test are met if you give it enough thought. Just because you think you're going to do well on some exams doesn't mean your subconscious will automatically assume that you'll do poorly on others, and vice versa. What you feed it is its only source of information. Your subconscious mind has incredible power that it may use to make your worst fears come true, such as when you break up with a significant other and secretly believe the relationship will fail. Never stop listening. Never stop watching. It is the sixth law of the subconscious mind. An off switch does not exist for your subconscious mind. your vital signs would go out, and you would die if it happened. Like a camera, your subconscious is constantly capturing memories. Above all else, it is a belief system that seeks evidence to back up its claims. When you tell yourself you're not attractive, your subconscious mind watches your social encounters for proof that you're right. Picture this. You want to know how to read girls' signs of interest, so you watch one of my films on subliminal signals. You start to perceive things differently once you tune into this frequency, and you start to notice that pretty girls are always sending you signs that they think you're handsome. When your unconscious mind receives these signals from your conscious mind, it starts to doubt the belief that you are unattractive. Your subconscious mind is constantly monitoring and observing. A belief that you are not attractive will be replaced by the belief that you are an attractive person if this occurs often enough over time. If your conscious mind challenges your subconscious, the latter will always emerge victorious, according to the seventh law of the subconscious. A small spider monkey represents the conscious mind, while an 800-pound gorilla represents the subconscious. Because of this, it doesn't matter how much effort you put into convincing yourself that you're not nervous about giving a presentation, your subconscious will always prevail, and you'll experience the bodily manifestations of your belief, like anxiety, until it finds sufficient evidence to challenge this view. According to the eighth law of the subconscious mind, once an idea is planted, it will remain until it is either replaced or challenged. For the rest of their lives, a lot of people convince themselves that they aren't good enough. They have this fixed idea that they can't earn more than $20,000 a year. The idea of meeting a beautiful female who shares their passion for video games is completely foreign to them. A belief will remain with you and become stronger with time if you never question it, says the eighth law. Like a tree, a fully developed belief system can bear fruit in the form of new ideas, both good and evil. It's like an unruly blackberry bush in your garden. It can be both a blessing and a curse. If you're having trouble sleeping, try applying the ninth law of the subconscious, which claims that your subconscious will become less active the more active your conscious mind is at any one time. Envision yourself staying up late to watch this video, even if you have an early work morning ahead of you. The majority of people will make a concerted effort to concentrate and drift off to sleep. Do something that stimulates your subconscious mind instead of your conscious thinking if you're having trouble going asleep. I find that it helps to just put on an episode of a show that I either don't care about or have watched 100 times and then stare at the screen in a comfortable manner. A dull book can be enjoyed by some. You will feel extremely exhausted and eventually fall asleep after your subconscious mind takes control. The ability to successfully train the subconscious with suggestions is stated in the 10th law that rules the powerful subconscious mind. A woman starts to stir a small cup of tea in a very particular rhythmic pattern, while the protagonist, who was just released into theaters, sits in a chair in the hit film Get Out. Here we have the bedrock of hypnosis in action. According to popular belief, one can influence another's subconscious by mimicking the pattern of a pendulum swing, or, in the case of Get Out, by stirring a little glass teacup and thereby diverting attention away from one's conscious thoughts. Put yourself in the shoes of a group of security guards stationed outside your home, representing your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is represented by either you or the man inside the house. All it takes to bypass the conscious mind's security guards and get proposals sent straight to the man in charge, or, more accurately, to the guy inside your skull. The 10th law lays the groundwork for practically any kind of persuasion. To get your ideas over to the subconscious, all you have to do is divert attention away from the conscious mind for a little while. Hold on, we'll get to this in a video later. By learning the ins and outs of these 10 laws of the subconscious, you can bring out your latent superpowers and unleash the sleeping giant within. So, until we meet again, I appreciate you watching, and I hope you'll stick around for the